Is this a unit under contract, or are you building them all out at this point?
We're building them all out. This one is not under contract, I don't think. The other old, there's 3 units like this. The way the building is configured, the 5th, 13th, and 14th floors have 6 homes.
And does this represent kind of an upgraded package from what you? No, this was your standard.
Standard.
Okay.
This is standard. We had very high level of standard finishes. This is a family room. Some people have said they use it as a formal dining room, perhaps. But in the design, we were anticipating this would be a family room.
Standing in what appears to be a second or third bedroom here. You can see the view to the direct north. You can see the dome of the temple in the distance. And then zooming back out, you can see some lake. And a pretty good view of downtown Evanston. You see there are 2 wall closets here, both with sliding doors, kind of a nook, perhaps either to, maybe you could wedge a bed in here and have a walkway around, or if you wanted to have a bed over here and maybe a small desk in that. Just keep on going this way. See a full bath here. This would be a master suite. Interesting that the walk-in closet is actually kind of a room with 1, 2, 3, 4 separate wall closets instead of kind of an open closet space here. And actually, it appears that one wall closet here, I'm actually standing in the closet, it's sort of an L shape. And then you have a second and a third, and then what would be the master bathroom. Interesting here, it looks like you have enough room for a dual sink vanity, but they only have one set up here. You have the separate shower, tub, have sort of an entryway here, a small den type space. And then you walk around here and you get the actual bedroom, which again has views directly to the north. You can see the Century Movie Theater right in front of me, and beyond that, the Baha'i Temple. This has its own balcony with similar views to the ones that I just shot, although here you get some actual lake given the northern exposure.
Yeah, we'd like to see more, obviously. But in this environment, that's very good.
Are pre-sale requirements in Evanston or in suburbs in general a little less stringent than, say, if you were building in the South Loop?
Well, pre-sale requirements are a function of the bank. Mm-hmm. I don't think it varies by suburb to city, except that the construction type is different. Mm. If you're building single-family homes, pre-sale requirements are not such a big deal because you're going to build a couple of models and then you'll build them as you sell them. Whereas this building, you've got to build the whole building before you can deliver the first unit. I mean, we had to We had our certificates of occupancy on almost the whole building before we closed the first unit. But you'll notice the finishes in here are not significantly different than the finishes you saw up in the $1 million unit. The only difference is we have a step down in the appliance package here. But the granite, the cabinetry, and everything else, the fixtures, plumbing fixtures, are all the same as in that $1 million unit. Here you really feel like you're part of what's going on in the neighborhood.
Yeah, you're not separated very much.
Personal preference.
Unique everywhere, you know, you go, it has a view. Has a nice.
We did a building, Ibrahim and I started to convert a building at Michigan and Monroe. And the first residential.
So is this actually part of some green roofing here?
Oh, that's
Is that...
interesting, yeah. The farther out is green roofing, and the nearer is the patio for the unit underneath us. That's why those are the larger units on that floor, because they all have access to big outdoor spaces. So we figured that they would justify probably more expensive units.
You had mentioned that you had had a lot of interest from people who had been single-family homeowners. Do you find that the building's competing primarily with properties in the suburbs, or do you have people who are also looking at places within Chicago as well?
No, we compete both. I mean, in terms of condos, probably our biggest competition is in the city, because the product in the suburbs just doesn't have the same level of finishes. For the most part, there are some exceptions, but most of the buildings none of the buildings in downtown Evanston have the level of finishes that we have. Their ceilings are lower, their cabinetry is less, they don't have hardwood for the most part. It's just a different product type than what we've got. So our major competition for condos is in the city.
I think we are the only building with the high ceilings. I don't know what covered that or not in this town. Everybody builds a lot lower. It's
8.5 feet.
You know.
To squeeze more levels into the height restriction?
Correct. And this costs probably 20% more because of the just increase in height.
The structure, yeah.
That's one of the biggest reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the biggest reasons for using the pocket doors is the space saving. The handicap requirements have gotten so stringent that every time you have to put in a door, when you have to put in a 3-foot door and have all the clearances around it, it can really take up.
You know, it's interesting.
And
a lot of people
pocket doors
either love this one.
Some
or
people
they
love
hate
them,
it.
some people hate them, but sometimes you really need to save space.
Right.
Everybody's trying to live smaller.
Well, everybody
smaller
loves
these
that.
days.
But people,
So we're actually starting to use them
some
more
people
and more.
like this